What is going on, everybody? Yo, your mic is reverberating my sound. Mute me on a stream, Scruffy.
That's not
Better?
Me.
It was definitely you.
It's got to be you.
Nope, because my system sound is muted.
I don't know. It's got to be you, homeboy. But anyway, welcome in.
False.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be spicy if you can't already tell. We're hot and heavy. Scruffy don't have no fucking job, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants. He's got no liability. Bill's here with his beautiful beard.
COVID didn't claim me.
There you go.
We're back, baby.
Nobody likes Enigma, but he's always hanging around.
Fuck you. I hate you.
Exactly.
Some random on the internet said so.
Then obviously my stupid dumb ass is here. You know,
Nobody
as
likes
well.
you.
Yeah. Well,
confirmed.
Nobody likes each other.
Like, that's a good song, bro. That's a great song. Ass. I make that motherfucker hammer time. Anyway, so
where are we go? We've already derailed completely. Like,
you can't.
no,
We're not
even a minute into the fucking episode.
You can't derail if you never get on the track. So that's the motto I kind of have.
Got on the train, baby.
Yo, guys, I got a question for you to start this one out, though.
Yeah, sure.
So, when I was dying with COVID for like the 3 days that it was really bad, do you guys have like a comfort game that you go back to whenever you're like really sick and you just need to vibe and like do something familiar?
League.
Oh God.
You play League?
I play League.
Are you trying to kill yourself quicker?
Bro, League. I don't know why. It's all like MOBAs has always been my go-to.
So you're telling me you bundle up in a blanket with your hoodie on, and you got your little snot rags off to the side, and your hot chamomile tea, and you're trying to get better while intaking toxicity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we already know that sin thrives off of salt and toxicity.
It's
like,
great.
That's we've already established this.
So
I just did not realize the problem went so deep.
Yeah, no,
it's bad, man.
I literally like I don't season my food. I just kind of like hold my arm and shake it real quick. Just salt falls off.
That's dangerous. That's nasty.
Nuts. For me, it's always been the Fallout series, though. Fallout New Vegas and recently Fallout 4. So it's always a comfort game for me.
Enigma, do you have a particular comfort game or nah?
I don't have a comfort game. I this last time when I got it, like just before you got it, I went back to 7 Days to Die. So,
gotcha.
That's good.
I like going back and doing those games where you can just fucking waste time and you're just like you just vibing and vegging.
That is a bald-faced lie. He goes to that section that's that NSFW section in Steam, what we all get those ads for that we're like trying to like hide.
Yeah,
it's like Tentacle
the
Slapper
furry,
7 or whatever it's called.
The furry cyberpunk sex game or whatever it was.
Yeah, those are custom, in the algorithm for you specifically. So, they find what you like.
It's accurate. Yep.
Bill, what do you go to? What's your go-to game?
My go-to game is Final Fantasy 12. I don't know why, but that game,
12,
the way that it works is because it basically it autopilots itself once you get to a certain point, and I just lay there and move characters around and watch things like numbers go up, basically.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do like Diablo and stuff like that. It's just like a game where you don't really have to work. You just kind of play the game.
Yeah.
One game that I will never play when I'm sick though, and it's because the first time I remember getting really sick was while I was playing this game, was the original Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
I had fever dreams of fighting Riku while I was like, the first time I could remember being like,
I could see that.
Bill's over there completely fucking stoned off his ass on NyQuil and shit, and he's simple and sweet. It's the way I should make.
No shit. You're probably not far from the truth.
Honestly, no. I think that's just...
I couldn't play the original Kingdom Hearts for like a solid year after that, just because it just anytime I picked it up, yeah.
Dude, for the longest
memories, man.
For the longest time before it was League, it would be like WoW or like whatever MMO I was playing. I would just get in and just kind of vibe in with that.
Man, or I'd play Steam Deck so bad, dude.
Or I'd play there's a mobile game called Threes, which is a really like chill game, and it's if you've ever played it, it's a phenomenal game. You can get it for free on pretty much every app store. But basically, all you do is like you just have to do multiples of 3. And so like it's just this like 3x3 box that you're like sliding numbers around. That's like 2 to 1 to make 3. Then you connect the 3s to
Yeah,
make 6.
I played that. I think the one I played was like 20. It was called like 2048 or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it was like 5x5 box in the one I played.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a big
So
one.
that was good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Cool.
welcome to episode number 64 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. As you can tell, we're a lively group of guys that just kind of sit around and talk about video games and what's going on in the video game and live streaming world. And we have a good time, and it's great. And you know, we've been doing 63 of these episodes, and now we're on 64. We're about to get the Scruffy's favorite number, which is 67.
That too.
And
Nice.
yeah, so but welcome in. If you guys have missed any of our episodes, make sure you check us out, anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast, or you can do !podcast on all of our channels, and we'll get you the link to where we're at, or you can download us on any of your podcast apps, or go to Spotify, or go to YouTube. I mean, we're fucking everywhere. You can't we're kind of like the common cold. Once you catch us, you can't get rid of us, and then we just keep spreading. So
Yeah, or now COVID, you know.
yeah. Well, I don't want to compare us to COVID. We don't kill
Or
anybody.
monkeypox.
We don't kill
Monkeypox
anybody.
is the new
Oh,
thing.
no. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, if you are new to the show, we also do this live every other Thursday, at 10:30 Eastern, right here across all of our channels, and you can actually participate live with us. We have our chat open, and we can see all the people in here saying hi and what's going on in chat. You guys are awesome. And we get to engage with you guys. You guys get to give us feedback and give us, live interactions. So it's a good time. So make sure you join us live if you can. But we always kick this shindig off with Twitch and YouTube news, and this week is no different. We got a little bit of Twitch news. I don't know. I don't think there's any YouTube really news
I didn't
to
see
speak
anything on
of.
YouTube while I was
Nah.
scouring the.
Nope.
Yep, it was pretty calm waters over there in the YouTube land.
I did see that Doc is pissed off at YouTube because apparently he says that they're not doing anything for him. So
Well-
this is like a every 3 month
Yeah,
cycle.
where-
When isn't the dog pissed
That's-
off?
that's why I
where's
didn't bring
he
it up, 'cause
gonna
they're like, what's
go?
new?
Where's he gonna go? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what YouTube says. It's like, sure, go ahead, go to Meta. You want to go to Meta? Go to Meta. Good luck.
No.
Like, Doc, you're on YouTube. You're gonna stay on YouTube, and you're not gonna get any kind of money because it is what it is until you start your own streaming company or Twitch decides to buy you back. So,
Just slap him on the wrist. Stop giving a fit.
yeah.
That's all.
So,
You think Twitch would ever actually take him back?
yeah, I think they would.
I think they would. I think he's too prideful to.
I don't think he'll go, but yeah.
Nah. He would
Yeah,
have to be in pretty dire straits to, I think, even consider going back to Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would go back. So,
I think he would make his own streaming site before he went back.
Prime time, baby. Let's go.
But he's
Brian.
too busy diving into NFT games. So
So yeah, the Twitch news. So there's two things of Twitch news, one of which is a little bit on the smaller scale, the other one is not so much, but the one that is kind of the big thing is, if you were here last week, you listened to our episode last week, you heard us talk about, or 2 weeks ago, you heard us talk about TwitchCon and them basically saying, hey, we're not going to require proof of vaccination, we're not going to require negative tests or requiring any kind of masks. That lasted all of about, I don't know, less than 48 hours. And then they backtracked it and said, hey, we are going to now require masks. We're going to require proof of vaccination and negative tests on this. So, just if you're going to go to TwitchCon, you need to make sure that, hey, you do have your vaccination cards or negative tests to show. I don't think they're actually saying that you have to have proof of vaccination. They're just saying you do have to test negative, correct?
You have to test negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can either bring in vaccination proof, like your vaccination card, or you can bring in a negative test result.
Are they
within-
saying
I think-
how?
I think it's like within the last 2 days of the negative test result. So
Are they saying how? Like, do you have how boosted you have to be? Like, do you have to be triple boosted for this one, or is it?
I don't know. I didn't read anything about
most
it. On that.
most concerts and stuff that I've went to are, if they're requiring vaccine, it's just the vaccine. They don't require a boost.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. It's look, we talked about this the last show, and I think I think they were
Bill,
going.
Bill
Definitely,
wasn't here. Did you want to give your opinion on that, Bill, or no?
yeah.
I gave it a little bit in the chats, but my opinion on it at this point is, well, considering what happened with the backlash and stuff like that, it's just funny to me. There's so many whiny babies on both sides of the field
Yeah.
with this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just completely 180'd who was complaining about the situation. On one hand, people were complaining like initially, and then once they reversed it, the whole other sector is doing the exact same thing that the first side was. It's just funny to me. It's very humorous. My opinion is Twitch can do whatever they feel like. It's up to them as a company on how they want to go about doing it. I am not the biggest fan of companies going against what they deem to be safe just because they're getting backlash from it. So
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I think
that's my taste on it. If they felt like we're in a world state where it's safe enough for people to be able to show up and do that, that's fine. And then at that point, it's on the person to determine where their safety level lies.
That's what I said last week. Was I think we need to get to a point where it's like it shouldn't be up to the company or the the people putting on whatever you're going to ensure that you are doing what you want to do to stay safe, right? Like
Right.
if you feel like you need to stay safe, then don't go to the event or wear a fucking mask.
Right.
If
Yeah.
if you don't feel that you're not safe, or if you feel like you don't need it, have at
That
it.
can literally be
Like-
said about anything too. Like,
well, my thing about this is like, look at, and we talked about it, right? Look at like how things were run. I don't think there's really a difference here between the way that things were run, flu or pre-COVID to post-COVID. Like, if you're like,
Yeah.
everybody got con flu, everybody got some
I
kind
was
of
about to say
sickness.
con crud was
Right,
it's
yeah.
always
Yep.
been a thing.
You know,
Always a thing, man.
So I think like in this, I mean, but I'm also not gonna go flip the script and just like flip my lid and be like, oh my fucking god, like they're going down this like fascist route of making me have like, no, you know what? Okay, fine, whatever. Like, it is what it is. This is the event. Like, I have to go. I've got to go because of work, and I'm happy to go because of work. Right? Is it in my mind about monkeypox? Absolutely. Right? Monkeypox more than COVID. Just because monkeypox,
Well, that's
yeah.
the shit that makes me laugh. Is like they're all stuck on COVID, but it's like we've still got monkeypox that we got to worry about now. We've still got all kinds of other diseases that people
Yeah.
can get and give to each other that
You know,
nobody
so-
gives a shit about. It's just COVID that they're like, yeah, no, we can't. And you want to know the biggest thing that I'm curious about with this whole thing? I feel like it's probably a little bit to do with the fact that they had such a huge backlash from some of their creators, like some of their high tier creators, right? But I'm almost as well wondering, because I think this is in Anaheim, isn't it?
No, San Diego.
California.
Well,
Is
it's
it in San Diego? Either way, it's in California. I'm almost curious if California was like, hey, you can't do that.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I didn't even put that together, but yeah.
Because California is so strict with that shit. Like, I would not be at all surprised if they were like, you want to hold a convention in San Diego without having to prove that you don't have COVID? Nope. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's definitely plausible.
Yeah, I
I think
don't
it'd
know.
been a lot worse if they, started with these rules in place of having all this, tests and everything and negative tests, and then flip the switch and be like, no, we don't need that after backlash. I think there would have been a lot more of an uproar. But seeing the uproar for them putting more precautions in place, I don't know, it's laughable
Well,
to
it's
me.
just, I mean, it's the thing about it is like, I don't think it's a company's place. And so look, without getting super political, and like the thing about this is that the people that are going, oh, well, they're trying to take my freedoms, they're trying to take my right. No, you don't have to go. Like, no one's forcing you to go to this.
Nobody's
right?
forcing you to go to this fucking convention.
So if you don't believe in it, don't go. Like, if you don't want to go because you're
on
on
the flip side as well, if you believe in it and you feel like you're not going to be safe, then don't fucking go, or
Right.
bring protections.
Right. So it's kind of, that's where like my whole stance on this is too. Like, it's the same thing with people that get pissed off about like cruise ships, and they're like, I can't believe I got to do all this to get on a cruise ship. And I'm kind of like, look, man, like, honest to God, I'm okay with like everybody, like them kind of being like, look, y'all need to at least be somewhat safe, and I'd rather you guys test for some of this stuff to get on a cruise ship, because it's a closed it's closed quarters. Like, I don't have this issue, but again, it's my choice whether I want to go or not. Like, if I don't want to go, I don't have to go. it's not
Yeah.
like they're mandating it for school or what, all this other kind of stuff. So, hey,
My issue with a cruise ship is you're in a box and the medical staff, while they do have medical staff, if I need to get rushed to a hospital, that's what concerns me about cruise ships.
right,
But
Yeah.
that could literally be for any illness or injury.
right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. But anyway, they changed it. So now, if you are going to go to TwitchCon, you do just need to be prepared. Have your masks.
I don't.
Make
I
sure that
honestly,
you're
I'm
vaccinated.
curious if they're going to make you wear masks, or if they're just like, hey, as long as you have a vaccination or you've tested negative.
So
I
what
mean,
the new policy is that you both have to wear masks in indoor spaces,
Okay.
and
I
you
didn't
have
see
to
that.
provide.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do have to wear masks. So, and look,
Makes sense.
like mask, no mask. People that are just like, I can't stand masks. Like, here's what I'm gonna say about it, right? If we take COVID out of the equation and take this whole and take government mandates and also CDC mandates, whatever else out of it, like, dude, countries like Japan, China, the UK, a lot of these countries have had masks in place, and it's like legitimately it is a health thing. Like, think about the diseases that are out there. If we were to incorporate masks in our daily lives, like, if you really think about the shit that is out there, like, it's not that big of a deal to wear a mask. Like,
And the one thing,
sure that just like between 2020 and 2022, like having people wear masks, if I'm wrong, I believe it lowered the percentage of like just colds and fevers in general, like any sort of cold symptom.
and the one thing you got to remember about countries like Japan and stuff that have been doing masks for years and years and years, they do it out of respect for each other, right? Like when somebody's sick and they wear a mask, it's not because they are wearing a mask and they're sick, it's because they're wearing a mask and they're sick and they don't want to give it to people that they're walking. In the US, we're just like, fuck you. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
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 yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, that's the mask stuff. Just be aware if you're gonna go, you need to be prepared for that. The other news is that Twitch is now moving to a lower payout for everybody that's not in the US. So congratulations to everywhere else that's not in the US. So is it in A or is it US only? Like, or is that?
No, it's because EU isn't done either. Like London those areas don't have it
they're
either.
slow rolling it out.
They're slow rolling it out to. This is my theory. This is my tinfoil hat theory, all right? And you can take it or leave it if you want to, all right? The reason they haven't pushed it to EU and NA is because EU and NA's currencies are some of the most dominant currencies in the world, and they want to get as much money out of those countries as possible before they start making the change for the lower payout, or the lower payouts.
Yeah, but it's not like you're making more money. You're making the same amount of money. It's
yes, but they're not having to pay it out as much. Like if you're looking at like smaller time streamers that maybe they get a payout every 3 months, versus at $50, maybe they're getting a payout every month and a half.
So you're saying it's on transactional fees is where they're getting
transactional fees.
They're getting to stuff.
And that's I mean that's just nickeling and diming with Twitch.
Jeez, oh man, Amazon, bro, if you're that hard up, like, come on, bro.
That's like I said, that's my tinfoil hat theory, at least.
Well,
obviously you can take it or leave it. That's not obviously that they're never going to admit that that's the case. They're going to be like, oh well, we're just rolling it out to these smaller countries because we can test it and make sure, that's what they'll say. But
the countries right now that are in this is Australia, Chile, France, Netherlands, New Zealand, and Peru. Those are all the ones that are.
Another one too.
Where?
I think another wave's. I don't know exactly what the country. I'm pretty sure the second wave of the rollouts are going.
Well, that was the second.
That is the second
first
wave.
Was the first wave we reported on like a month or two back.
Yeah.
This one was the second wave, and then they said that they're still rolling out to more countries. Soon.
Yep. So there you go. And it is set to start happening on the 15th, and it's a threshold cut in half from $100 to $50. So, there you go. So that's that. Moving on, the next section that we talk about, guys, is what we've been playing. And I've got a couple new games, not as many as what we've been having in the past, but I think we
not as many as Sin usually has.
I was about to say Sin only has one game, guys. Like wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So, look, I'm sorry that I play new games. I try to
Wow.
bring some excitement to the channel and bring new stuff. You know what the fuck, man?
No, it's just that you never know what.
He's trying to balance out me only playing one game forever.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So, and in that we've got. So we're gonna start off. We'll start off with what I was playing. So we'll go. Why is this doing that? Okay, there we go. All right, cool. So
Figure it out, bud.
well, it was doing something weird. It was like I click on a thing and it just like kept taking me to like being like, no, you need to look at your Twitch stats. I'm like, I don't want to look at my Twitch stats. I want to look at the footage of the game. So, but anyway,
Are we starting with an impact?
yeah, Genshin Impact. That's it. So if you are unfamiliar with what we are looking at here,
can we show this? Can we show this right now?
Oh my god, it's a computer generated
Yeah.
character. Jeez, oh man. Anyway,
Goodness.
I've been playing this game called Tower of Fantasy. Yeah, like let me fast forward a little bit. So there we go. I mean, I don't know if that's any better, but anyway, Tower of Fantasy.
Demonetized.
This is a
Sorry,
a new
Nah,
game
you're good.
that is basically it's a gacha game, right? At the end of the day, it's a gacha game. It is an MMO that you yeah, I mean you're playing with other players. Think Genshin minus the 2 extra characters that you play with on an MMO scale, where it's not as well done. So like a kind of a knockoff Genshin, but an MMO world with tech. Versus
like
I will
a-
say that the
Genshin
character
meets,
creator is really, really well done.
yes, I
Yeah.
do like the character creator.
There's a character creator. Like
yeah.
you actually get to customize your
Yeah,
character.
you can make
Yeah.
your protagonist in the gacha roles. You can either basically the gacha characters that you get, you can use them as like a skin for your protagonist, or you can use their weapon and loadout for your like handmade protagonist.
Oh, that's better than Genshin then.
I mean,
like that.
I wouldn't say that it's better. Like I would like as a game, but I definitely think that it is.
For my personal taste, like I would rather that than like just Genshin being like you have like all these other
The-
characters you don't really get to
Yeah.
customize
That,
much.
that was the one thing that I liked about the idea of it was that instead of having to like swap between the characters to get the different like elemental synergies going, you can
Yeah.
just have one character and swap weapons instead.
Yeah.
Which it's the same thing essentially, but it's not at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
the
don't
big
have
thing,
to have like 8 different characters to do one thing.
the big thing here about what they do that differs themselves from Genshin, and honestly, what I really like I'm having fun with the game, is they basically with Genshin, it's all about the characters, right? Like that's the draw is the characters themselves. In this, it's not as much about the character as much as it is about the weapon that you're drawing. So you can have your characters that you pull will have different resistances or like mobility and things like that, but the weapons are really what is the big driving factor here and what you're really kind of pulling for. So they've kind of done it on both ends. They do, it is a gotcha system on both sides, right? You know, with weapons and things. And yes, there were weapons obviously in Genshin, but it was more about getting like specific certain tips. Like you couldn't have one character, if I'm not mistaken, you couldn't have like the ice character using like a bow, right? Like I don't.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
Each character had a set weapon that
yeah,
they were
specific
proficient with.
specific
Yeah.
characters were
Right.
only one type of weapon. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like
I got really lucky off the my first pull and pulled basically one of the highest tier characters they had, which is this SSR character with their dual pistols. So that was kind of great. That was kind of cool.
Streamer loot, bro.
Right off the bat. But the
So
weird,
when you pulled that, you got the character plus their weapon, right?
yes, you get the character and their
That's
weapon.
Yeah. Cool.
But to upgrade and continue to upgrade the character and the weapon, you have to get certain different you have to basically re-get the character again, and then you also have to get certain items to upgrade the weapon itself. So you don't have to redraw the same weapon, but you just upgrade the you have to get like different these types of stones that are needed for it. The one thing I'll say about this with
standard
Genshin,
gotcha shit.
yeah, the one thing I will say that I think Genshin does a very good job is that it's a little bit more streamlined and understanding what you need to do where, you know, here and there. Like there's currencies, but it's not like overly crazy. Like in this, there are a lot of different currencies. There are red orbs, there are gold orbs, there's purple orbs. You've got the gold money that you see here, which is in-game currency. You've got the black, which is like Nexus upgrade currency. You then have the one that you're looking at over the far right side, which is like a diamond looking thing, which is premium currency. You then have cyclum currency.
Ugh,
Like it's just
mobile
like,
games.
yeah, it's like currency on currency on currency on currency, and
Not
that's
just-
what's
Not just mobile games as well, like Asian
Yeah.
mobile games.
JRPGs in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general, yeah.
so like, and then you have like certain things that you need to advance the class. Then you have like advance the guns, and then you have like you upgrade your guns, and you advance the guns, and you expand your guns and your weapons and stuff. So all of that is just kind of like very mind numbing. What I will say is fun about the game is the combat. Like the way that they you get around the world, the way that you move, it's just like Genshin. Like I really wish Genshin would be an MMO. If Genshin was a true, in fact, MMO and not just a single player experience, I don't think this game would stand a chance. I think that why it is holding its own is because of that MMO experience that is there.
I think
you know-
that's the differentiating factor, and I don't think Genshin wants to be an MMO. I don't think they
No.
have any interest in going that route.
I don't think so either.
Wait,
You know,
I want to know because I didn't see much of this game. So is this game you actually are playing with other characters and players in the world?
yeah. Let me fast forward here so you can kind of see, like, cause I'm like, so right, you'll
'Cause,
see,
like,
you'll see.
Genshin was like a co-op more, like you were instanced with friends.
Right. No. So this obviously has layers, but you'll see characters running around. You'll see you'll interact with characters. You have dungeons that you'll enter. You'll have world bosses, all that kind of stuff.
There you go. There you go. It's an MMO because it has dungeons.
It has
Oh my
dungeons.
God.
There you go. Confirmed.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
2022.
but the other
2023.
the cool thing about this too is like the world is very fun. It is very cool to get around and do things. Switching the guns, like you can have 3 different weapons and you can switch between them, and they make that like very fun. There's shooting, there's melee mechanics. Like you feel very powerful. They give you the power fantasy that you're wanting, and the world does feel very, I think living with different creatures that are around and what you're doing. The downfall to this is the servers suck. Like the servers are just terrible. It really, like, you'll sit there and be trying to do something and you're like, why is like my character's not moving? Or then all of a sudden it does moves that you didn't do. You'll attack and it didn't work. It's very, I don't know. It's not good. Maybe it works better in mobile. But
So since it is an MMO, it's an always online experience, correct?
correct. There is no offline mode. Yep. So
Yeah.
That's what I could do. I know Genshin really never had that many problems with servers now when it first came out, even.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, it
was
really
one-
didn't. Especially
one
in
nice
like
thing.
the co-op was super simplistic and they kind of rolled out co-op features as the
Yeah.
game went on. Maybe that was a smart thing to do, but with a game that's built around the MMO experience, you would think it would be fleshed out
You
a little
wanna-
better. I mean,
You wanna
hell,
have
you,
your servers.
That's like
even
to be
Diablo
honest,
Immortal had good servers at launch.
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but again, that's another instance game though, right? Like that's more instance than like
No,
this. per se.
Diablo Immortal
It's the
had
same like this.
people out in the open world.
Yeah.
But how large scale was that? It wasn't like
Well, it's
I
not.
wouldn't think it's as large scale as this.
This doesn't have like hundreds of hundreds of people out there. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably in one layer would maybe have like maybe 100, maybe 120, like
Yeah.
a lot. Like
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like most MMOs, on launch are gonna have a pretty rough server, especially if they're blowing up like this.
yeah. I mean, again,
gonna be
it's something I'm gonna try out, because that's the only thing that's really keeping me from it. It's just like I don't like this. It's just it is almost unplayable. Like really, it really is almost unplayable to try to do stuff. The other issue too is with like any of these games, and I actually do like gacha games. Like I don't have a problem. I like the loot like that.
I have a problem with gacha games too. My community's gotten me fucking hooked on that dislike game.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Oh yeah. I think Tony was playing that at one point.
It's
if I'm not mistaken.
it's like a better Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah, and
But back to this.
it is fun. I mean, gacha games have their place. Like I think a lot of people hate on gacha games because they're like they're pay to win. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's the purpose of it. Like no one's denying you that they're not pay to win.
That they're pay to win. Like that,
Right.
that is what it is. You play it for the other aspects of the game. Like, you know.
My problem with pay to win games is when you take a game like Diablo that's not pay to win and then you add pay to win elements just to just throw it in there and being like, yo, we're gonna force it because we can make money off of it. Whereas like with this, I'm like, yo, this is a brand new IP, it's a brand new game. You're bringing it out, it's gotcha, get it. I understand it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you know, I think that overall, like it's a good experience, and I like the experience of the gotcha stuff. But they cut you off very hard. Like I feel like Genshin like leads you into it a little bit. Like they ease you into it fairly, not like quickly, but like they do a good job. This like they get to a certain point and boom, it's done. You're cut. You're fucking. You hit that grind, and you can tell like you're just like really shut off really quick to it. So, you know,
you hit the grind wall early.
Oh, very early. You know, and I think in a game that like is already MMOs are already grind heavy anyway. You know, it's like you could have maybe made that ease a little bit better. But I don't know. I mean, it's still a fun experience. But what it really does is it just makes me want to play Genshin. Like I want to play Genshin, but Genshin in a MMO world. You know what I mean? Like it's not good enough to say it's better than Genshin, but it's also like, well, shit. You know, do I play an MMO because I like the MMO world and seeing people run around, or do I go play Genshin because it's a better game? You know, so I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, it's got really in-game bosses, mechanics. It's got, you know, the combat system is fun. You know, and I would try. Like it's free, so try it out if you like gotcha games.
They're gonna have to tighten it up because aren't they releasing on Steam in like another month or so?
I don't know. I know right now it's not on Steam. So I don't know if they are releasing.
It's not on Steam now, but I thought that I was reading somewhere that it was coming out to Steam shortly.
Yeah, it may be.
Steam. It will be available December 16th.
It's developed by Secret World, right?
I'm pretty
sure. I'm pretty sure developed and published by Secret World.
This is Hoda Studio. Hota Studio.
I don't know. When I was looking at it the other day, that's what it said.
It's their Hoda Studio.
It's Perfect World. So. Perfect World is the publisher.
Perfect World, yeah.
No, Perfect World is the developer. I'm sorry.
No, Level Infinite is the publisher. Developer is Hoda Studio. I'm looking at their Steam page right now.
Published by Perfect and Level Infinite.
I don't know. I'm looking at the wiki and the video game thing right now, and it says Perfect World is the developer. Developers are Perfect World.
I see both Perfect World and so
we don't know who the fuck.
Perfect World, Hoda Studios, Level Infinite.
There we go.
We all know. We all know if it's on Wiki, it must be true, right?
Well, it's the Google. It's the Google fucking Play Store. So I'm hoping that their shit's right.
Play Store that I'm looking.
Maybe that's like different ports.
Like I don't know. Maybe they have. NPC. Well, it could be too that one of them hosts the server, right? Like one of them could be the server developer for it. So.
One of them stealing your data. That's
oh man, dude, not like
probably,
Super People, baby. We tried to play Super People. We tried to have that for you guys, but I'm pretty sure that is.
We didn't get past the beginning, the first screen.
That's because in the beginning of the first screen, they literally are like, "Hey, what's your phone number? Oh, hey, what's your birthday? Your email address?
Can I get your age, sex, and location?"
It's like, I'm good. I'm good. So, yeah. So anyway. Tower Fantasy, it's out there. Give it a shot if you like gotcha games. It's not a not enjoyable experience. You'll have fun with it, and maybe it's your cup of tea. So give it a try. Scruffy, you and actually we all played.
Minus Billy. It's okay though.
Ooh, what's up?
I said minus Billy. Us three were playing.
Yeah. We played a game called Stolen Realm. So talk to us a little bit about Stolen Realm.
And this game is actually dope. So if you guys are familiar at all with like For the King or any other kind of like turn-based co-op along those lines, it takes like For the King and it combines it with like an RTS, and it's in that voxel style still, a very like sleek looking graphic style. And it's really cool because you get to fully customize your characters, play through this like campaign and everything with your all your friends, and like I said, it's like an RTS, and so you're in this like constant like story loop of like trying to do these quests and missions, and getting your ass kicked and everything and dying, but you keep going back to town and getting your items up and everything. But it's that turn-based style where you got your classes where I'm playing a bard here, Sin's being a warrior, Enigma's being a necromancer and not having his range skills. So
Yes.
but I don't know. It's really fun. It's developed by this smaller studio. Actually, I totally flopped and was going to get the name of it, but it's I think their second game that they've published. Trying to get the name here. Burst to Flame Entertainment. Indie dev, small little game for about $20. I don't know. I think it's a really good time. And it seems like it's really in depth too. I mean, there's like 4 acts, and we haven't even scratched the surface of the first act. Like, I think we only made it like 2 quests in.
Because we can't get past the second boss.
It's
Bro,
hard, man.
It's rough. The game is tough.
They throw you into this, and you're just like scraping for pennies and everything, trying to get your gear and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, there's a loop of where you have to like go into these quests, gather materials, sell them, get more weapons. So it's got that kind of like same element of For the King where you have to find like the right weapons per class, per character, and you kind of can like trade amongst your friends and everything. But
Just go to the armory, man.
dude, it's rough though, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, what I like about it is I think it expands on For the King in areas that For the King lacks, right? Like one, For the King is only a 3-player game, which is an odd number anyway.
That's the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's an odd number to only allow for 3 players. I like this. You can have up to 8, I think, right?
6.
6 players. You can have up to 6 players, right? So that's awesome.
Okay.
Max cap 6, I think.
And also too, and I know Enigma's probably gonna talk very heavily because he spoke super highly of it last night when we were playing. Just the in-depth character design, like maker that you can do. Like you really have a lot of diversity with your character. Whereas with For the King, it's kind of like, you pick your class and they have abilities, and then you pick your weapons and that's cool. But that's really about it for the most part. Like this has got like full-blown customization.
Well, talking about it, right? Like let's go into that a little bit more in depth, right? Like when it came down to creating the character, like right off the bat, you had the decision of like going with the base level or the base abilities that they gave you for whatever character archetype you went. So Scruff, you went with monk. You got 3 monk abilities, right? I went with mage or wizard, and I got 3 mage abilities. And then Sin went with, I think you went originally with
Or the thief
with a rogue, right, or a thief, and you were going to go down the rogue route. But the thing is like, as you're seeing right now, you can go in there and completely customize what kind of abilities you want, right? So if you want to play like a mage, but you want to have like some melee combat in there as well, you can start doing that. Or if you want to, like later on, you'll see that Sin transfers his abilities to being more of a paladin, so that he's still a melee combat, like an up in your face melee combat fighter, but he's got heals.
Yeah,
right.
Like a Divinity 2 like original Sin light kind of system of how it works of taking and skills from other things.
And like my mage, I went the first time I fucked up because I went down the necromancer route. So I went and had my my summoned skeleton, my archery skeleton, right? But I didn't have a ranged ability because I didn't see that you could, it detailed what range your abilities were. So I had like a touch ability, which it did a lot of damage, obviously, but like the customization on it is great. And the one thing that I will say with them is like they did necromancy justice. It's not the shitty fucking necromancy that we see from a lot of games where it's just a turret
mancer.
It's there for a couple of rounds and then it goes away. You summon your skeletons. The only thing stopping me from summoning a fucking horde of skeletons is cooldown, because your abilities have cooldowns on them. Like my summons skeletal archer has a 4 or a 3 turn cooldown on it, right, before I can recast it, and mana, right? So as long as I have the mana and as long as I can wait the cooldown out, I can summon however fucking many skeletons I want to, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. The one downside to it though is I can't fucking aim my goddamn skeleton.
You can't really take control of them.
Yeah.
And that was we had Scruffy had tweeted out last night that we were going to be playing it, and the studio tweeted back that they were excited to watch. And if
Yeah.
you are watching this podcast, guys, I would really, really urge you guys, please, I would really urge you guys to at least give us some form of basic, even if it's just like a very, very basic, like you summon it and you tell it, this is where I want you to point, attack whatever's in that direction, right? Please give me at least some form of control over my summon skeletons and my summons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm asking you. Like
I
that
feel like
at that point, your necromancer would be fucking amazing. Don't touch it. Just
Yeah.
leave it alone.
Other than that, and a few other aspects, like I think the game is in a really
It's great,
good
man.
starting
And
state.
it's early
Like
access.
it's
Yeah,
early.
and it's early access. Yep.
Just came out. I think, obviously there's stuff they can build on, but like they're in a great state right now just for the start. Yeah, they only lack like maybe a few like descriptive key terms and stuff like that throughout that we've seen.
Well, there was one that you guys were having issues with where it was like you weren't sure if you could use that ability with like melee.
Yeah, well,
And that's just some
I have a
basic like quality of life stuff.
weapon,
Right.
and I went into a quest already without a one-handed weapon because I didn't know that the skills I had required a one-handed weapon. It doesn't say that until you go into combat. So, but
So it's just basic quality of life stuff that
Yeah.
like just nail that down and then keep going and doing what you're doing and that'd be great. Like
Perfect.
your game's good.
Yeah, they've got a lot of room to build too, just like For the King does, adding more expansions and like packs and stuff like that. It's going to be really good, I think.
I think already in like early access they have like what, 8? Is it 8 acts?
4.
4?
Four
I thought it
acts.
was-
There's
They're
four acts.
pretty-
But they're deep.
They were long acts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're decent. Yeah, and what I meant to say this earlier too. Compared to like For the King 2, I feel like you're a lot more free. Like it's not as
100%.
linear as a playthrough as For the King is. Like you actually have like while you're in the acts and in these like quests, you actually have like choices to make, and like it's almost like a roguelite, where you get to choose your path. Like what was Curse of the Dead God? You know how you get like split off,
Yeah.
you choose your own path and everything of which way you want to go, if you want to fight a boss or a enemy or something, and then or you want to go to an event or you want to rest for a turn. You get choices, and I think that's really cool too.
Question for you guys. With For the King 2 coming out, do you think this is going to be like, do you think there's enough similarities for there to be competition in that regard?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think For the King 2 still hits a very different like kind of world. Like For the King 2 is one of those games that you can kind of be like, hey, let's play a couple rounds of For the King 2, right? Like you get in, you do it, you have some fun, and then you kind of get out, right? This is definitely more, I think,
It's
like a Divinity, right? Like if you want to go in and play like a campaign, and it has the like micro play where you level a character up, you go back to the town, you go back out, you level your character up, go back in, that kind of aspect. But I definitely think that there's, I don't think they step on each other's
I
toes.
think there's room for them to live amongst each other, honestly, because like Sin said, For the King's more like one-offs. It's quick play. I feel like this is more long term.
I'd say For the King is more of a roguelike than this is. Like this definitely has
This has like a roguelite. You're in a full like, game,
but
span,
like For the King is a roguelike game through and through. Like it's one off and you're done. This right here is more of a mix between like Sin said, like For the King meets like, I would say almost like Diablo, because there's like aspects of Diablo that you can like take your characters into online play as well as single player play. You have a stash in town that, as far as we know, at least we haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure that the general consensus is that you can put stuff in there and then your other characters have access to your stash essentially. So
it's a good game. It's fucking hard too, man. It is not fucking easy by any means. And we started off playing on like torment mode or something, or like our veteran mode, which is the one up from normal. We got our asses handed to us, like just completely just destroyed.
One thing that I do like about the difficulty as well with this is like the more people that you have in the game, the harder it gets. So like you have your difficulty sliders, but you also have scaling. So if you have 6 people in a team, you're scaled. The difficulty is not only scaled to the difficulty that you're playing on, but it's also scaled to the difficulty of how many people you actually have in your party.
I
right?
would love to
So
play with
like if
people too. I think that'd be so much fun. Just like
yeah, 6 people would be amazing, dude. It'd be
really would
hectic.
be
It'd be
so
extremely
strategy,
hectic because the
right?
turns are it's not a turn based like each individual person has a
Not
turn.
Infinity, yeah.
It's
It's
it's the
combined
entire team goes
enemy and
one
team.
at
Yeah,
one time.
Yeah.
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 So
It would,
But I think that's kind of nice for like if you want to do like solo play, like if these guys aren't up for playing at all, I can be like, okay, I'm just gonna go and do a solo game. Or if me and you are up to play Scruffy, we don't have to worry about if Sin's, off being butthurt on fucking League and being toxic. We can be like, okay, we're gonna go and play this.
I never get
like
butthurt. Never get butthurt.
unnecessarily.
Yes, you do. Bullshit.
No.
Just say the name Action and then
Action, yeah.
Action
Yumi.
Yumi. I'd actually face an Action Yumi with my pike. So anyway,
But yeah, no, it's
good game.
really good. I'm thoroughly impressed. I think me and Sin got it for $12. It was on sale recently for $12, but
Yeah.
I would
It's worth
100%
I got it
pay
for
$20
20
for it.
perfect price at $20. I'd say it
Yep.
doesn't
Worth
get
every
any better
penny.
than that, honestly.
Worth every penny. So $20.
Yep.
Go pick it up. And remote play, just so you guys know. So you can remote
There
play,
you go.
buy it, remote play with other people. So good job to Back to Flames or Burst into Flames or whatever the developers.
Flame. Yep.
Burst to Flames. Phenomenal game, Stolen Realm. Go try it out. Go check it out. It is a blast. Had a lot of fun.
And again,
with it, so.
Again, if you're listening, hit us up. We got some ideas. We can help you guys out.
Yep. So, all right. Now I know Bill. I think you. I mean, I don't think. I know that you've been playing Elden Ring, but there was some new stuff that came out, right, with Elden Ring.
Yeah, big patch.
Big patch.
Yeah. So patch 1.6 came out, and it's a really unique patch for From Software and Bandai Namco and how they typically go about their patches, because it came with your normal stuff. They buffed some things, they nerfed some things. They buffed the Great Sword class, the Great Hammer class, and one other weapon class that I can't remember. They increased the weapon swing speeds and stuff like that. All good things there. They finally nerfed like properly the OP shit. So Stars of Ruin won't auto track you like 9 times. They nerfed the Rivers of Blood. They nerfed Glintstone Pebble weapon art, so you don't get one shot by it early game anymore. All good things. That's what you expect from a balancing patch. But the interesting thing that they did, and something that I think is going to help with the longevity of Elden Ring, is they made it so that both invading and your co-op with the summoning pools are global now.
What does that mean?
So
What was it, region locked before?
yeah, you would only invade into the area that you were standing when you went to attempt an invade. Now, whenever you invade any area that you have unlocked, you kind of cycle through those looking for people. This will help increase the frequency of invaders actually getting invasions so they don't have to hop around. It'll help the streamer lifestyle out with that a lot so that there's less downtime in between. They don't have to location hop. And for people that enjoy co-op, if you've grabbed like the summoning pools and stuff, whenever you send your sign to a summoning pool, it will send it out to summoning pools all around the area. So you might be standing near one boss but get summoned in to help with a different boss that you've had unlocked prior. So
Interesting.
it's something that they've never done before. The closest thing that I can think of was Dark Souls 3. They did a DLC that came with the arena that had like an entire arena matchmaking system. That's the most they've ever done with actually like updating their online infrastructure in the middle of a game's lifespan. Usually what the game comes with is what you kind of have to put up with in that regard. So it's nice to see that they are making quality of life improvements in that regard. I don't know if the success of some mods, like there's a Dark Souls 1 mod that's out that cycles you through all the locations in the game as an invader. I don't know if the success of that kind of stuff like made them push this through, but it's nice to see.
Good. It seems like they're branching out of their comfort zone for the better.
Yeah, and we're still anticipating a PvP DLC coming out as most likely the first DLC that they put out, some
What do you
sort
mean,
of
like
arena based.
PvP? Oh, like arena again, like
Yeah,
you said. Okay.
yeah. So maybe this is like them like starting to pave the way for that PvP centered DLC, but it's really interesting, and I think it'll be good for the lifespan of the game. I think the player base was starting to fizzle, and I don't think this is enough to maybe bring it back entirely, but it definitely reinvigorated the PvP community a little bit, and I think it's a good quality of life change for the co-op community, because it used to be you could only get co-op outside of like the 5 most difficult bosses of the game or like the end game bosses. Now you have a likelihood of actually getting summoned in anywhere.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Very
No, I
nice.
mean,
Yeah.
I think it's. I mean, I think it's good that they are. Like you said, they're continuing to focus on their game, or focus on these kind of things, and I think, like Scruffy said, I mean, opening it up to outside of their comfort zone. I mean, Elden Ring is already outside their comfort zone anyway, just because it's not their typical standard style of game. I think that embrace shows that they're willing to do something different, right, and to continue to grow and kind of seek out new things. So
You
yeah,
don't see that much
I-
in game developers nowadays either. Like,
I kind of wish that like one of the fixes that they would do would be for like co-op with no longer having to like unsummon and then resummon to get into like boss matches and shit. I don't know if they've done anything with that
They
yet,
have not.
but
There's a mod out there that makes
I've seen
co-op
that mod.
seamless,
Yeah,
yeah,
but they have not updated the co-op
that was
systems.
that was
And
one of the biggest annoyances that
I don't think they will, just because of the way co-op interacts with the invasions. It has to kind of be like region locked in that regard, but we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, if they've got a mod for it, they can obviously do it. Like it's not going to break the
The
game
mod
itself.
the mod disables invasions entirely
It
too, which
it
is
it it disables them. That doesn't it disable them if you wanted to? I thought it was a thing that it was like a toggle.
I'd have to look into the mod specifically, but I thought
The,
it
the
was
one the one that I saw, I thought that it was a toggle. Like it was you could disable it, toggle it on and off if you wanted it or not.
that
To
would be
include the
interesting if it
seamless
was
as
a
well.
toggle. I think that would be
I,
pretty
I
cool.
thought in most cases, like invading with like people that are playing with mods are technically considered hacked accounts. So like,
Well, you'll
if
be
it was
matched up
disabled,
with
you would be,
you'll
yeah,
be matched up with other
only modded
Yeah.
essentially.
accounts. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're using a mod, if you're intending to do the seamless co-op mod, definitely do it on a like burner Steam account that your family shared to, so that you don't corrupt or get like banned your main
Interesting.
Steam.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was one of my biggest complaints when I first started playing the game was like I was trying to play a co-op and it was just like it was a hassle to have to
That on
resummon and
top of the
summon.
co-op infrastructure was garbage,
It
and
was garbage. It was
it's
bad. Yeah,
definitely improved.
it
Yeah.
was
At
fun though.
least the stability.
I actually did enjoy the game with co-op. Like even with all the issues that we were having, like I was thoroughly enjoying the game, which is crazy because I usually don't play these kinds of games. So
I need to
yeah,
go
Yeah.
back.
I'm glad to see that they're still pushing forward with it. That's great.
The
Well,
one problem, and something that I kind of it's a slight segue out of this topic. They still haven't fixed the PC servers for Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
they
Wow.
don't
Still
give a, they don't
dead.
they don't they don't give a fuck anymore. They're like
Yeah,
Elden Ring
they
is
don't give a
selling
shit.
17.
209 days those servers have been dead.
That's
They've-
insane, dude.
Guys,
They
they've
found
sold
their
17
maker.
million copies of this game in 6 months. Do you think they give a fuck about that older game? No. 17 million
I
copies.
low key wonder if they're keeping the servers dead to keep people playing Elden Ring specifically
Ring,
on
yeah.
PC.
Maybe.
Like
Maybe
I'm
They're
genuinely
like they're
curious, because I've heard a lot of people saying that they would like, a lot of people don't like the current state of Elden Ring PvP. This patch helped it out a lot, but it's still a very imbalanced PvP experience. Plus, some people just don't like the open world, like the options that
yeah.
Elden Ring brought to the table. It's almost too much. Some people prefer the more simplistic PvP styles. They wanted to go back to Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1. I would not be surprised if Bandai's like, yeah, we're going to keep those fizzled
Gonna
out
make
until
you.
Elden Ring's hype is completely done.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
it
just
would- it
Maybe
wouldn't
once they
shock
win
me.
Game of the Year, they
Maybe.
will.
What
it,
10 to 1 10 to 1 what it is, they're just like, well, we'll just make the modders fix our fucking online.
I mean,
Well,
that's yep.
I mean that, or here's far shot, right? Is that they're just gonna say, you know what? We're gonna bring it in and say that Elden Ring, that Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are actually in the Elden Ring universe. We're gonna do expansion packs. We're just gonna bring Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 into the fucking Elden Ring. So you're gonna go to an area and then all of a sudden you're in Dark Souls 1. Like that's what we're gonna do.
That would
Honestly.
be the wildest remake ever.
That'd be crazy, dude.
Wouldn't that be fucking
All
nuts?
Dark Souls games have been running in the background. Just
Right?
saying.
It's like Diablo remastered where they just fucking you put a slider and you're like, fuck, this is Dark Souls 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, it would be
Imagine
crazy.
Everything is Elden Ring.
Always
But
has
anyway,
been.
I mean, what do you? Yeah, if you said, I mean, but can you blame them though? Seriously, like if they've got, I mean, that's part of the news that we were talking about. But 17 million copies in 6 months. I mean, that is impressive
Absurd.
in its own right. Like, and I can't say that I honestly blame them for being like, you know what, we're going to continue to steadfast working on this while we, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe they should have some news to come out to say, hey, we are working on this, but we're putting all of our effort into Elden Ring right now. Because I think if it was the other way and they were not doing anything with Elden Ring and they were trying to fix the other ones, the fucking people would rage. People would just be like,
yeah.
So I can't say I blame them, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's
the easier pill to swallow at that point, you know. It's
Right.
like fuck over the people that have been playing our games for forever.
Well, I mean, it's
when did Dark Souls 3 release? That was like what, 6 years ago?
Dark Souls 3. It's been a minute.
yeah. I mean,
it's been a minute.
That's the thing too.
Versus put everybody onto your brand new game that's made you $17 million.
Yeah,
it made more than 17
is
million.
when Dark Souls 3 came out. So
I mean, so also too, I mean, not to say that developers should stop, developing for older and successful games, but it should be a thing where they are, like, God, I mean, those games are like, it should be their focus, right? It's a new thing. This should be their focus, and it is that successful. Not to say they shouldn't go back and fix it, because what was busted is also bullshit, because people have known about it forever, and they should have been fixed a long time ago. But I can't say
the only time that I have an issue with people stopping like development on older games is like when you have instances of, oh man, that's my fucking, hold on.
Instances of oh fuck. I think what he was probably going to say is that where they shut the servers down, you can't play them at all, right? So you can't play the game, period. So
I really hope that the PC versions of those games don't meet that fate. I hope that they do eventually get them fixed so that they are playable, because there is a very lively fan base. Each one of those games has its own like unique section of the community that's their favorite. So,
right.
Sorry about that. My AC turned on. No, what I was gonna say is instances like you have with like Monster Hunter World, where they went and made Monster Hunter Rise when they could have just continued updating Monster Hunter World, but then they just completely stopped development for Monster Hunter World. They can continue developing for Monster Hunter World 100%, but it's easier for them to develop for Monster Hunter Rise because it's a
fresh new title.
Yeah. So that's the only time that I have issues with that. When it comes to like Dark Souls and like the older Dark Souls, again, you said 2016 for Dark Souls 3?
Yeah.
Like that game's old. Like
it is. It is. Now for sure. Kind of a tangent, but I decided to look up the top selling games of 2022 so far. Can you guys guess what the number 2 game is without looking it up?
Of 2022?
Because this one surprised me. Of 2022 so far.
Top selling game.
Number 1's Elden Ring.
I mean, that's not the Cyberpunk.
No,
that wasn't 2022.
Oh.
Yeah, but it still could be the number 1 selling game in 2022. Is this a game that released?
Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
That's surprising. But
I was gonna go with Minecraft or something.
Nah,
that list though.
That blows my mind. That Lego Star Wars, followed by Pokemon Legend Arceus, and then Horizon, MLB The Show, Call of Duty, and then kind of devolves from there.
It's pretty new still.
I don't know, man. Legos is a fucking big franchise.
I didn't realize that many people like the Legos. Franchise.
You got to remember it's less about like actual gamers and more about people like parents buying it for their children.
Yeah, it's nostalgic as well. So.
Yeah, but they did that really well. It's a lot of games in one.
Well, cool. Well, that is the Elden Ring. Is there anything else you want to talk about on the Elden Ring, or is that it?
Nah, there's they're just making good strides. I'm happy about it.
Now I know also too. I think both you and myself are going to be diving into Thymesia, which I'm excited about to talk about in the next
Oh
week's
yeah,
show too.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. They it looks like they've made a lot of really good progress from the demo, so
yeah,
that has me very excited.
from what I've seen and what I've obviously I guess I mean it's not an ad, but I work for Corsair obviously, right? And we do the IQ integration for it, and that stuff is really cool. Like I saw we showcased it today on our stream, and it was really dope seeing like the lighting change with with that. So if you have Corsair stuff and you have IQ, you can play the game and it'll change your lighting, which is really dope. So yeah, so moving on to news. We kind of covered a little bit of news earlier on with obviously Elden Ring and the TwitchCon stuff, but
Spider-Man.
I'm getting to it, man. Did you play Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I put it on the fucking thing if I hadn't played it?
I didn't know you played it. All right. Well, let me fucking backtrack because Enigma actually played a game.
Damn, dude.
I don't know, man. He never plays anything. If we're not playing, he's not playing League with us or one of the other games. He doesn't ever play anything. So how am I supposed to know? So excuse the fuck out of me that you actually played a game in this one show. Holy shit! One time he plays a game. Holy crap! Okay. Anyway, here you go. All right.
Good lord, bro.
Here, talk about the game that's been out for ages.
That's why it's because it's not a new game for me, and so apparently because it's I didn't play it on the PlayStation. Opinions don't.
Oh my God! Just shut up and talk about your stupid game. God Almighty!
That must be it. No, it's good. It came on PC recently. Like I've been waiting for it. I wanted to play it when it came out on the PlayStation 3. I think that was what it was. It wasn't PlayStation 4, was it?
No, it's 4. It was 4.
4.
Was it 4?
Yeah.
Not 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I wanted to play it when it originally released, but I wasn't willing to fucking buy an entire PlayStation just to play the goddamn game, right? So when they announced that they were going to bring it out for the PC, I was stoked, and like it did not let down. And surprisingly, with the new 3080 purchase, like it looks gorgeous with ray tracing, unlocked frame rates, and everything like that. Like it looks amazing.
Ported well.
The fucking character details. It was ported extremely well, man.
That's
like
good.
I played both on an Xbox controller as well as as my mouse and keyboard, and they did a really good job with the Xbox controller, which is surprising. I didn't think that they would port it well to an Xbox controller.
Yeah, I mean the only other game right now that's been ported like really well like this has been
God of War.
God of War. Yeah.
So they're doing. I think that's the only other game that has been ported, isn't it?
Horizon, but Horizon had some porting
I
issues.
forgot about
You
Horizon.
you also had Horizon. You had Days Gone. You had a couple.
You had a couple.
Days Gone
that's right,
actually
Days Gone.
ported
Days
really
Gone
well
released
too.
on
Yeah.
PC, I thought.
No, it didn't release on PC. It was a re-release.
I did see something as well with this, just off on a tangent. Apparently, there's rumors going on that PlayStation is going to be making their own fucking PC launcher. Apparently, in the files,
launcher?
in the files of Spider-Man, there's a mention of PC, Sony PlayStation or PlayStation PC launcher somewhere inside the files. They were.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like honestly, like it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
they do it.
I would be surprised if it didn't come to Steam as well as the PlayStation launcher. But
yeah, that was what I was about to say. I just hope that they don't just lock it to their fucking. They don't go down the same route as every other fucking. Like if you're gonna try and contend with Xbox. If you're gonna try and contend with Xbox, like it needs to be on Steam as well. Like
I don't think that. I think that it's. I don't know, man. It's hard. So I think Sony would lock it to their own thing.
I think they would as well. That's what I'm worried about. Like,
yeah,
really,
I hope
that
they
is
don't.
What I'm worried about.
I am happy to see another quality port because PC
dude,
porting
it is so good.
PC porting is some of the most frustrating shit.
It is, yeah. And the worst part about it is like if it's a bad port, it's never known for how good the game is. It's just known for how bad the port was. Yeah. Right? Like the game can be amazing, but because it's a bad port, it's a shit game completely.
It makes me happy to see that Sony is actually taking PC ports seriously and that they are.
But they did such a good job with it, man. Like it feels smooth. It feels very, very. I don't know the word for it. It just there's no hitches like on full graphics, full high graphics, everything like that. I'm not getting frame rate issues. DLSS, ray tracing, everything like that is on. Not getting any stuttering or anything like that. The swinging is fucking smooth as hell. Like I am very very impressed with it,
How
and
far
it
have you gotten in
looks
the story?
gorgeous. What's that?
How far have you gotten in the story?
I just finished the first portion. I'm like maybe an hour or two into it. I just finished and I don't want to give too many spoilers, but the intro mission, you take down
Okay.
Fisk
Yeah, yeah.
to begin with. So I just got past that, and I'm doing. I think I just did Aunt May's mission, like the first mission for Aunt May,
Hmm.
and we're kind of moving into that. So
I really,
I'm enjoying it, man.
I
Like
really,
I'm impressed.
I really encourage everyone to 100% this game. I know that
Yeah, I'm
you know,
planning on it.
it's one of the things where a lot of people just do the storyline, they don't do the side. There's a lot of like really good in-depth side
Tons,
mission
dude.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
Now did
storytelling.
when you played this in 100% of it, did you do it on the hardest difficulty? I assume as much
Yes.
because you do the
Yes.
hardest. Yeah, of course. Why do
Yes.
I even have to ask? Yeah, I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty. I think I'm playing on the difficulty
You're not
beneath
truly
that.
playing the game then, sir.
Right? I'm
You're
not an OG gamer. I don't
Yeah.
play on the hardest fucking
I
difficulty.
mean, I can't help that you're a fucking
I
wimp.
don't
I don't.
swing
What do you want me to do?
axes for fucking 5 minutes to kill something.
You're a fucking wimp. What do you want me to tell you? Anyway, but
You know what I love about this game though too is day one, like pretty much the mod community was on it. Like, have you seen
saw
some
that,
of the
yeah.
crazy ridiculous mods that are already
I saw the one contentious one, which was like somebody tried to remove the pride flags,
yeah, there's all
and
that.
what's it called?
That's
I
another thing
they
where
removed it.
they're removing. Yeah, there was a modder that removed the pride flags, and I mean, thankfully, the Nexus mod manager community, who is like the biggest
But
modding community
the
ever.
the thing that cracks me up about that, right, is that I know for a fact that there's some fucked up mods on Nexus mods, right? Like there's BDSM shit for fucking Skyrim. There's like
There's so many nude and
there's
porn mods.
there's like nudie imports for that shit. There's and
Yeah,
I have no doubt that there's some pretty fucked up shit on there. But
Yeah.
this is where they draw the line. Like, come on, Nexus.
well, there's
Jesus Christ.
they did something similar to with there was a mod that was for Skyrim that added a lot of anti-Semitic stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they
Well,
took
it's
away.
when
It
comes
falls
from
into
the
hate speech,
community
I
to-
think,
yeah,
is where they're
hate
coming
speech,
into
and
it.
It comes from the community. Obviously, backlash from that. They're going to respond to that. You're not going to see a community backlash on BDSM of your favorite Spider-Man neighborhood Spider.
Yeah, I mean the game. The getting
I
back
mean, he
to
might.
getting back to the game though. I mean the game is such a smooth game. I mean even playing it, when it originally came out into now, like the storytelling is really good. The only bad thing I will say about the whole game is that if you do play on the hardest difficulty, is some of the side missions are insanely difficult to do because you have to do them perfectly.
I did one of the Fisk Towers the other day, and that shit was rough, man.
Yeah,
Like on the second difficulty up, like I was like, damn.
Yeah,
dude,
you
like,
have to
this
be perfect with
Holy
it.
shit. Yeah.
What I will say is that I would give Insomniac, if I was Square Enix or who at Marvel, I would be like, Insomniac, go make us a fucking
Make the rest of
Avengers
them.
game. Make an Avengers game. That's it. And if you want live service, make it a live service Avengers game. Give them to that. Like this,
Just make the rest
It
of
is-
it, man. Like 'cause
it is
they
very,
do
very
such a
good.
good
Insomniac
job
for
with it.
years has proven that they are a high quality developer in
Well,
the gaming
when-
community.
When you look at this compared to Marvel Avengers Spider-Man,
Oh,
right?
God,
just
it's
like
so bad,
looking
bro.
at the
It's
quality
so
between
bad.
these two, I'm just like
Mm.
I whoever made the Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man, I would be embarrassed.
no, it should be.
Like
I mean,
I would
Well,
be
you don't
so
like
embarrassed.
PlayStation 2 style web swinging.
it's so bad.
No, not at all.
It's so bad.
And
But-
that's the best part about this game is like I found myself I spent like 20 minutes 30 minutes just at the beginning where I was just like, I know that they want me to go and do the side mission, but I'm just gonna swing around.
well, yeah, I mean, that's it.
That's necessary,
The movement in this game is one of the most compelling things. It's not even like
It is.
the combat's very good. Like everything about the game is
Yeah.
literally great. Like, but the movement is on a whole other like you literally look at it like, how the fuck did they do what they did with the way that the character moves? Like the poses that he does, the way he lands, the way he swings, the way he sticks to a wall.
Dude,
like every
Dude,
little thing.
the small details, like I jumped on the ground and I was just walking around the streets, just kind of looking up at the streets. And there's NPCs that will react to you. There was one guy that was like, "Fuck you, Spider-Man. I
Yeah.
listened to the Daily Bugle podcast, and you fucked my uncle," or some shit like that. And I was like, "What?
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
sorry."
Spider-Man. What mod did you download, bro? Holy shit. Okay.
But then walking down the street like 5 more feet, and there was a dude that was like wanted to shake my hand. I was like, and there was an actual interaction where I could like shake their hand and shit. I was like, dude, that is insane.
Yeah.
Man.
It's that incredible world building, like honestly.
And it's not even just that, but like the like obviously the movement is a big piece, but when you go into a game like this, like Spider-Man, it's also like how many times we heard the Spider-Man story? Like we've heard it 1,000 times, right? And it's been done over and over and over again. But I will say I 100% of the game I played it, and there are only 2 games ever that have made me like not tear up, but definitely like have an emotional response. This game actually made me cry. Like I will tell you that this game 100%, I'm not giving away the ending, but it just absolutely teared me up, made me cry. It makes you feel something. The storytelling in this game is just, it literally is like you're watching a fucking movie. Like you're literally just like, I'm watching an MCU movie. Like this is an MCU thing, man. And that's the experience. So I would absolutely be like,
I don't doubt it, man.
Insomniac, do a Doctor Strange movie, do a fucking,
Please
do them all. Like do all of them. Do all of them.
Do a Thor game, please. Just do Marvel Avengers, just better.
Yeah.
Like go and be like, hey, by the way, Marvel Avengers developer, fuck off. We're done. You ain't taking this. We're taking over. All of this has got to get scrapped. You guys did shit. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, they did such a good job. So,
on a quick hit real fast, because I didn't feel like it was really worth the time, but you probably didn't even see it. Did you know that just the people who made Just Cause were planning on making an Iron Man game, an open world?
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. They got canceled.
Yeah, but that's I didn't know that. I saw that. So I'm like, what? Wow.
I don't know. I don't trust anybody at this point other than Insomniac to do a fucking superhero game.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well,
it was good.
I wanted the Boys superhero game. I think that would be fun.
That would be.
Yeah, we can go and do we can go and do Soup Orgy. Colin,
I would absolutely love a fucking Boys like no, I don't know if I want an MMO, but like definitely a like live service game.
Gonna have a level where we jump in some dude's dick or something.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I don't think I want that.
I think that universe is an untapped resource that I think would translate.
I think it's been tapped. I think it's been tapped a lot.
Who owns that? Who owns that universe? Is that WB? Does WB own it or no?
I think so.
The Boys, I think it is WB, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Jason, if
we're gonna get it in multiverses, bro. We're getting Homelander in multiverses, dude. I want to beat the shit out of Superman with Homelander, bro.
Because I think when I was looking at not Homelander, but the other one, Soldier Boy, I was watching some stuff about Jason Eccles, and he said that the only reason why he even knew about it was because his rep for WB had told him about it.
Dude, it is. You're right though, Bill. It is an untapped universe. I think there's so many things that could be done with it, but also Amazon owns it, so I don't trust.
Yeah, did you guys also see that Kojima was wanting to make a superhero based game, but he ended up canning it because it was too similar to what the Boys were doing?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
I love, dude. Honestly, I know this is going off, but honestly, I think The Boys is such a cool area, like a concept that you just don't see. Like in a world right now where superheroes are everything, and we're getting DC and we're getting the MCU. I love it, man.
I personally like it better than Invincible. They kind of fill the same like anti-superhero space, but I think The Boys does it in a little bit.
When are we? My question is, when are we gonna get the car wash simulator or whatever, power wash simulator, right?
Yeah.
When are we gonna get the Spider-Man web removal simulator?
Oh yeah,
the people that have to go and clean up the Spider-Man webs.
That's funny.
Wasn't there a comic of that? There was
there was.
They're called the Cleaners, and it's a group. It's actually little MCU knowledge. So the group that was in Spider-Man Homecoming, his group, he actually did not become Falcon or whatever his name, not Falcon, but what was the guy's name?
Vulture.
He doesn't become Vulture. Yeah. He's actually a group. He's actually like, they're not even a superhero group, but there's a whole comic around that group that is him. And it's actually really hilarious. It's a fucking great and like the trials and tribulations that go around. It's really cool.
It looks hilarious.
Okay, so moving through, we got a short amount of time to be able to get through all this news, but we've got Embracer Group. So Embracer Group, Bill, I think this was your news, if I'm not mistaken. maybe.
they have purchased the video game rights to both Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit franchises. So
So
they are now going to be.
movie rights too. People were saying they're
I
going to come off with spin-off movies.
It might be movie rights. I was only seeing it in the video game space. I didn't
Yeah,
realize Embracer
I
Group
don't.
had
It's
any push into.
I don't know.
They have IP rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit,
they also
but
they also own the rights to KOTOR.
apparently,
Embracer reports
Oh, they
suggest that the KOTOR remake isn't delayed after all, so they own them too.
yeah,
Son of a bitch, dude. Embracer Group is massive.
Yeah.
it really is. So yeah, the Middle Earth franchise, all that stuff is going to be going through Embracer Group from here on out. So
well
interesting.
they also it says right at the bottom of that as well. They also
There's
announced
another.
that they also are owning Killing Floor Studio, Tripwire Interactive, as well as Limited Run Games, which did specializes in lush physical editions of otherwise digital indie games. I don't know
They
what that
also
means.
own Tuxedo Labs, which did
Tuxedo
Teardown.
Labs. Yeah. Yep.
They did. Oh,
It
Teardown? Really?
is the cinematic and video game universes because
That's crazy, man.
this article mentions that Lord of the Rings Ring of Power is uh
That's gonna be a terrible fucking
it's
TV
gonna be
show.
a
It's
bad
going to
show.
be so bad, dude.
Wasn't Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings
I'm
done
interested to
by?
see what Embracer Group does with it though, just because Warner Brothers
So,
did so fucking scummy with like as good as the Middle Earth like Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games were, they were so scummy with how they went about the monetization methods and trademarking the Nemesis system.
you know what's crazy too is
Yeah.
that I like Warner Brothers went. So why this stuff is coming around about like the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and all this kind of stuff getting sold off on the Warner Brothers side, because Warner Brothers went through and and basically said we want out. Right? They were like
Yeah.
we're done. We want out of the gaming industry. And
We
not even just gaming. The
we covered
entertainment
it
for the most part.
several podcasts ago.
Yeah,
we
they were.
covered the original announcement.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were siphoning off their stuff. I wonder now with multiverses, because this to me, like if I'm WB and I look at the fact of like, oh fuck, we signed the paperwork for this stuff, and I look at multiverses and how successful that is to go, we just sold off the fucking rights to not be able to have any of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit
Gimli
characters
and
in
shit,
any of this
yeah.
shit. Like, are we fucking dumb? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I don't think so, because honestly, like I don't know. You can say what you want to, but like Middle Earth, the Middle Earth and the J.R.R. Tolkien universe, like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and shit, never been all that interested in the games. Like the original stuff for what was the one that had microtransactions in it? The
that was
Shadow of War.
Shadow
yeah,
of War.
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War was good, but it wasn't great.
I beg to differ.
Like
I think the game
at
was
all.
amazing.
I did not think it was amazing. Like it had interesting stuff with the Nemesis system in it, but other than that, like if you take the Nemesis system out of that game, it's just an Assassin's Creed game essentially.
Well, the Nemesis system was the basis of that
Yeah,
game. That
Yeah.
building up the orc power structure, that was the majority of the fun of those games, and that's why they trademarked the Nemesis system like a bunch of assholes.
I just what
Yep.
I'm saying though is I don't give a fuck about the games that they would have produced. I'm saying that they're looking at it going, we could have now had Legolas, we could have had all of the art, I don't Aragorn. We could have had all these characters in
Aragorn.
Multiverses. Now we can't.
You know,
Like
I well, first of all, they I don't think they're worrying about it too much. They have
I don't think they
literally
are either.
endless
Yeah.
amounts of content, and characters, and
Not
They
they
got
keep
Game
selling-
of Thrones.
not if they keep selling shit
arguably
off.
Game of Thrones is the better fucking Tolkien universe.
That's-
Let's be real.
something. But I don't know. Even as I know, crazy as it sounds, as successful as Multiverses is, I feel like it's still not like the top priority at Warner Brothers.
no, they
Like,
want to get out. They want to get rid of this shit. They don't. I think they honestly
Yeah,
think a
maybe.
multiverse is being successful is a hassle. They're like, fuck, like
yeah.
So
So I
now
don't
we got to put
worry
development into
about
it.
too
Fuck.
much, about what characters that they're losing rights to put into this, fighter game that I feel like they're like, yeah, it's just, put whatever in there
Yeah.
that you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It does suck though, for people who might have wanted those characters in there. But other than that, I
Well,
think it is just
the other news out of
ridiculous.
this is that apparently there's a secret announcement that they're waiting for I guess commercial reasons, and according to Embracer Group, the acquisition will be in the range of being among either third or fourth largest of the transactions of buyouts.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, I think we're all sitting over here like worrying about like, oh, who the fuck is Microsoft buying? Who the fuck is PlayStation buying? And it's like, you got
Or
companies
10
like 10, you got
Well,
Tencent and fucking Embracer just buying everything else up.
Well, when we talked about the whole Microsoft transactions and stuff, I brought up that same fact that like the people that were hyper focusing on Sony, Microsoft, and all these bigger acquisitions, right? But we're not even talking about Tencent purchasing up multiple studios on an almost monthly basis, and then the Embracer Group, which I think
Buying
acquired
IPs.
that shit like legitimately the same time that Microsoft purchased Activision or announced it. They were buying like 4 IPs.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it too is like I would much like I know that we don't want to live in this post-apocalyptic world where there's only a few developers, but like the reality of it is that we're going to move to that anyway. I would much rather than be under the umbrella of fucking Microsoft and or Sony, because at least I'm going to be like, cool, they're going to be developed in the way that they should be developed, right? And they're going to be like like managed in the way that they should be managed. Things like Tencent, Embracer Group, they don't give a fuck except for about making money. Not saying that Sony and Microsoft don't want to make money, right? But we just had a remaster come out that Sony put out that they're going to put, they're putting their effort into, which is amazing, right? Which is the third one in the group that's been amazing. You have Microsoft, which is doing amazing things on the Game Pass side and things of that nature, right? So like, uh, yes, they want money, but they care about the games. Like at the end of the day, they care about their games. I don't look at Embracer, and I definitely don't fucking look at Tencent as being like, oh, they care about their games. Like they care about what they're doing. They care about the profit. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be real. Like if they did still have Lord of the Rings, what are they gonna do? They're gonna put fucking Golem in there, and he's gonna throw a ring at you
Whatever.
in
It's still be.
multiverses. He's
Look, multiverses
my
is,
precious.
let me tell you something, man. We didn't talk about that much this week with me and Scruffy have been playing multiverses. The new season just came out. That game is fucking great, man. It is a really fucking solid like Smash game.
Last
Yeah, we went
podcast?
over last, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
really fucking good, man.
It's already on the decline though, unfortunately.
Well,
I find it boring as shit to watch. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
That's just
I
me.
love it. I love playing it.
It's lost 50% of its Twitch viewership.
Well,
I don't know if the new season when Black Adam and
Yeah.
Stripe come out, if it'll pump it back
It'll
up.
probably
but
repump.
That's
Yeah.
any like
I think the biggest issue with
big hype
multiverses,
thing.
if we want to talk about that for like a second, is while the characters and all of that stuff are extremely well done, the map design is garbage.
I don't know.
I feel like
I like them.
In a world where you have Smash Bros, where the map design is all over the place, there's a lot of unique gimmicks with the levels. If you want to have it like strictly competitive, you have your strictly competitive maps, but like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
I can see what you're saying. There really is not
For a more
much
casual
maps.
player like what I did, I like the sillier worlds, and there's not really like that world interactivity.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the audience that they're necessarily trying to go after. Like I don't think they're trying to capture the Smash audience per se, because like I get that it's being compared to Smash, and obviously yes, it is a brawler,
Yeah,
right?
but when every map is the same with just a different background skin on it,
They're not those maps are definitely not just the same. I mean, you've got
no, I see what he's saying. They're nothing like
there's not really a lot of like
there's
differentiation
breakable
between
objects, and that's
right, but their target audience is to go after the competitive scene. Like their goal for that game, like if you listen, like one of the developers did a podcast and talked about it. By the way, hey, podcast is open if you want to come on and talk about it. He talked about, he's like, our goal is to get onto Evo. Our goal is to get to be a competitive fighter, not to be to go into the Smash world. That's why you don't like, they're like, we don't have weapons, we don't have power-ups, we don't have any of that kind of stuff. It is we looked at
but that kind of stuff makes like, that's variety. And I think even if it is just like a sprinkling in there to appeal to a more casual audience, I think that is a good thing.
I don't know. I mean, I look at, but in the fighting space, right? If I look at game,
I mean, Smash Bros has never had any issues getting into Evo, and it has a ton of like gimmicky bullshit stuff that
Right.
they have.
I'm not saying that the game couldn't gotten Evo with adding those kind of things. I'm just saying that they are very hyper focused on like saying, hey, we're not here to add a bunch of different crazy map designs. We're not here to add a bunch of extra like, you know, cheeky stuff to make it more fun for casuals. Like I'm not like they definitely absolutely are focusing in on the hyper like fighting community. That's why when you say like it lost 50% of its Twitch viewership, I don't gauge that as necessarily being the game being unsuccessful, because if I look at Guilty Gear Strive when it came out, had a huge spike and then instantly drops, right? But same thing that you're going to see with like Street Fighter 6. It's going to have a huge spike and then it's instantly going to
The
drop.
difference is free to play. The free
I-
to play, you need a little bit more of a push.
But what's
in
the
that
user?
regard,
What is
or
that
you
user
would,
base?
you would
Alright, alright,
expect at
alright.
least a little bit more
Alright,
longevity.
One more comment from everybody. We've been way
Hey!
past 1 minute on fucking.
Fuck you! I can talk
versus-
about however long I want to. I'll keep this podcast going until fucking 2 a.m. I don't give a shit. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it more because the new season is going to come out. It's already out, but the new characters come out. We'll talk about it then. So yeah, so we talked about Elden Ring. We've got Diablo 4. So I want to hear your guys' take on this. I think Enigma, you were the one that kind of submitted this, if I'm not mistaken, maybe.
Yeah.
And I
So-
want to see your guys' take because I have an interesting take on it as well.
So from what I read and from what I've been looking at, essentially they announced that they are going to be having battle passes in Diablo 4, which we already kind of fucking knew was going to happen, right?
I don't
They're
think they
gonna have
announced it though,
premium
did they?
rewards.
It was
What's
just
that?
it wasn't an announcement though. It was a survey, right?
Yeah, no. That is true. Yeah, it was a survey in like Germany, I think, right? Or one of those EU countries. Either way, 100% they had a survey which basically detailed, hey, would you be willing to purchase a battle pass for, I don't know if they had actual like terminology or not terminology, like prices or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they went through the entire thing. They were like battle passes. I think they said something about cosmetics, microtransactions in general. They basically is essentially saying that they want to heavily monetize Diablo 4, essentially in the same way that Diablo Immortal is being not demonetized, monetized to an extent at least. I think that Diablo 4's monetization is going to be a little bit better than Diablo Immortal in the fact that it's not going to be pay to win. I'm really hoping. But
So here, okay.
So
The
the
game's
battle
also
pass
gonna be free to
has,
play though,
or the
right?
season pass has gameplay boosts built into it.
no. I mean, it's
That's
one of those things
alarming
where
in itself.
what exactly is the gameplay boost though? Is it
Right.
like
It's just an
experience
XP.
boost?
Yeah.
Or is it like drop rates? Is it luck boost? Everything like that. That's where you got to that's where you got to look at it as like, is it going to be a heavy fucking effect on the base gameplay, or is it just going to affect how quickly you go through the season? Essentially?
Where does it say on here that the battle pass has XP boost?
I read it somewhere else. I'm trying to find the article now.
Yeah, I'm looking through this and I'm not. I'm not saying it doesn't. I didn't see. I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. Like I'm not seeing it on here. Because I've read through the survey and I read through this, and what I am seeing, right, is, and I think they have been open about this. This is where I don't understand why people are getting pissed. Like, we knew microtransactions were coming to Diablo 4. They openly said like the microtransactions that are going to be there are cosmetics. Like, I read this and go, yeah, I would okay. Like, I would expect a battle pass because battle passes are fucking everywhere. And
Right here, the season pass awards free season boosts. Boosts accelerate player progression during the season, accelerating XP gains.
So okay, so straight off the bat is definitely XP gains.
So wait, hold on. Is that saying that it's an XP boost for the character or an XP boost for the battle pass? Because you earn experience to level up a battle pass.
The season pass awards free season boosts. This is accelerated XP earned to make leveling multiple characters within a season faster.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe. I okay. So
And
this is directly
honestly
from Blizzard's article.
And honestly, to be completely real with you, I don't think. I mean, I've seen some people that are pissed off about it. So far, the only thing that I've seen from a lot of the stuff, like I watched Bellular Gaming, he covered this a little bit. I've watched a couple other people covering it. So far, from what I've seen, people aren't really pissed about it. At least the ones that I've watched, they're just more
kind of like
concerned. Yeah, they're
right?
like, okay, we see that you're trying to monetize. Don't push it to immortal, right? Don't
Right.
push it to immortal standards. Like we're okay with it having a battle pass. We aren't okay with it having a battle pass that gives you, you know, ungodly
Better
powers,
drops,
right?
right? Right.
So
Yeah,
I'll say though, I there's going to be a battle pass either way. I'd much
yeah, we
prefer,
already knew that.
you know, this sort of, if there is going to be any sort of pay to win XP boost, I hate to say, but if there's luck boost, anything like that, I'd rather it be in the battle pass than straight up be the shop. Be somewhere
I
behind the wall. I don't know. I, recently, I've been more inclined to battle passes. I don't think they're the worst paid feature
It
in game.
depends how they go. Like that's the biggest thing is like it depends on how they go about it, right? Like there's egregious ones like when you have again like cosmetics that actually change things in the actual gameplay, right? They give you boosts and everything like that. And there's decent ones like in League or I I fuck it. I
Well, I
forget what
mean,
the
you know,
EA
there's hundred
battle
Fortnite.
pass one is.
There's you know, I mean,
Yeah.
they you know, battle passes. I don't like. I don't like the luck. I don't want that. I don't think give anybody getting the ability to get extra drops based on a battle pass
Yeah.
or a premium purchase, that should not be allowed. I do not have a
Wouldn't like
problem if you want to say, "Hey, we're going to give you extra XP," because farming XP in Diablo is not you know, crazy necessarily difficult. Like it is
The,
a
the
it
way
is
the
a
way that I
right.
the way that I look at it, like being able to create more characters is not a game breaking thing, right? Like being able to level characters quicker. Like, yeah, they're going to be able to get to end game quicker, but what are they going to do at that point? Once they hit end game, they're right in the same grind as you are, grinding
Right.
raids, grinding, everything like that. So there's nothing unless it physically gives you more luck or drop chance or something along those lines, right? It's
Right.
it's 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 right out the window. It's like,
Because
okay, you got there faster than me. Good job.
if you really think about it, like
Congratulations.
in the world of
Well,
Diablo 3, the way it works now is, as far as experience goes, right? Is literally it's you go in, you say, "Hey, I need somebody to boost me," and I will hop into a game and boom, somebody at max level will just blow you through the season, and you instantly get to wherever start getting your Paragon levels, like so. As long as it's not drop base, like loot base or drop base, I
Yeah.
don't fucking care.
It's
Like,
just it's a bit concerning. I think
oh,
concerning is the
absolutely.
proper
Well,
word
I
for it.
think everyone's
I did see people concerned about the pricing that they have for the like different options because obviously it's a paid for game. You have to buy the game,
yeah.
Right.
and then on top of that, it's
Oh,
going to have it's going to have a in game currency stuff. It's going to have an in game cash shop, microtransactions, everything like that. So people are concerned about that. They're like, well, if I'm paying for a full price game, why do I have to, then on top of that pay for other things? But again, that's just the climate of gaming right now. Like obviously, no matter what you do, you're gonna have microtransactions these days. There's you can't get away from it. Honestly, it's sad.
Right. I mean, again, yeah. Look, I think when you look at like they look at like, and it isn't free to play, which I think is okay. It is a paid for game. But when
Yeah.
I think they're looking at like POE and things like that, and going, these guys are making a
Yeah,
fuck load of money
but
off of
but POE
cosmetics.
is also a free to play
No, no,
game.
I get it. I get it. I understand. Like I understand that. And again,
Yeah,
if they go the route, if it's me and I'm Blizzard, I go, hey, we're giving you a base bitch a base bitch version that's free to play. You get jack shit. Like you just get the
yeah,
fucking game. That's it. And then if you want to buy additions, you can buy additions, and you're gonna get premium currency to be able to purchase really dope ass outfits or callback stuff. I don't have a problem with that. Like, sure, do that. So I don't know. We'll see. It is alarming, Bill. I agree with you. It is something that you're kind of like,
it's
don't fuck
concerning.
it.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me. So,
The one thing that I am a little nervous about is the mounts. Like the base version, they've dropped it into like three different versions. You've got option A, option B, and option C, right? Option A is like this is in euros, so I don't know what it is in USD, but option A they're thinking about 79.99 euros. You get the full version of Diablo, you get a cosmetic set, you get a mount, which is a horse, and a mount armor, which going back to
Horse
Skyrim,
armor.
good old horse armor, exactly. You get the horse armor, you get a back ornament. It includes 15 euros worth of platinum. You get the battle pass inside of the 79.99 one, and then you have, I think, 7-day early access if I'm not mistaken. You've got the option B, which is 74.99, which it's the basic bitch. You get the full version of Diablo, right? And then you get the big boy edition, which is option C, which is 109.99 euros. But you get the full Diablo. You get the cosmetic sets. It doesn't show amount. I don't think that's correct. I think you get basically everything from option A.
Right.
After that, the only difference is you get 2 days, a 2-day. You get to start the early access 2 days before the 7-day early access. So you get
9 days.
9 days worth
weird
of early
number.
access, and then you get 20 euro in platinum, so $20 in platinum rather than 15. So I don't know.
How much?
It's definitely
but we don't know. We don't know the battle pass price, right?
We don't know the battle pass right now.
So let's average probably battle pass $10.
I would assume that if you get $15 in euro for platinum, it's probably going to be $15.
Probably. On top of all this as well, it was answered. Actually, Asmongold asked one of the devs if premium content, like premium items that you pay with a premium currency, are going to be tradable amongst other players, and they answered that it's not. So like you're not going to be able to, trade your,
at least they learned their lesson for not having a fucking real world marketplace for like they had in Diablo 3 originally.
Exactly. So that's at least a good thing.
Would we be happy if they gave them the battle pass a la how Halo does it, which basically says you buy the battle pass and you can do it whenever you want, however long you want, and you get to have it,
Forever.
It's not season based
personally, because I prefer that type of battle pass where it's not forcing you to play the game. Yeah.
I don't think it'll be that way, but
battle pass personally, but I don't think it's going to be that way.
Diablo focuses on seasons, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on it, guys. I mean, we're all interested. I think for the most part, we're all interested in Diablo. Okay, maybe Bill's not interested in Diablo, but I am.
No, I'm interested in Diablo. I just have low expectations.
I think we all do.
You gotta.
So, all right. Well, moving on to another game with skins, and well, shocker, it's still fucking Activision. Like Activision cannot do anything right. I'm just gonna say it. So, yeah, guys. We talked about the doc a little bit earlier on, and he's. Let's just start it this way. Dr. Disrespect doesn't like Call of Duty. He doesn't like Activision really much, and he's openly out there to.
He used to work for them too.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty decides to go and say, you know what? We've got a hacker problem. We've got a sexual harassment problem. We have a CEO who doesn't give a shit. We are burning to the ground. And our workers are completely unhappy. You know what we should do with our game, considering we ran Call of Duty into the ground? We should just stop making skins and plagiarize them. We should just steal them from other companies. And you know what? The one company that we're going to steal them from is the one that like literally hates us the most. Is we're going to steal it from Doc's company. So yeah. So Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty has pretty much stole a skin concept from Dr. Disrespect's new company, Dead Drop, or their new game, Dead Drop.
Midnight Society is their game.
It's a plagiarism, I'd say, of Enigma as well.
I was about to say, it's okay, they can steal it because he stole my fucking shit already. So
God, okay, yes. Anyway,
and LED, LCD face.
I have that shit copyrighted, man.
Let me see. I'll pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a sec.
So I mean, obviously you've seen it in Dead Drop first, and now it's very similar. It's like very similar to what
to me. I know. Yeah, I'm aware.
To you, yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. 20 at least 20% different. Come on, Doc.
At least, but and the craziest thing, this is not the first. This is actually the second time that they've done this now. The first time was actually of an artist too that was making a concept skin that they were pitching to Call of Duty. I believe that's the story. I believe they were making a concept skin that they were pitching to Call of Duty. It was called like the furry or whatever. That's what Call of Duty came out with, like this like husky dog and like a suit or whatever. And then like a week or two later, Call of Duty comes out with a skin that is pretty much down to the T a complete rip of this artist's hard work. Like it's scummy, man. You know.
Yeah, so I'm showing the image now. You guys can see it on screen, but this is obviously the image of so actually this is the Dr. Disrespect image. Yeah, this is from Midnight Society, Dr. Disrespect's company, Dead Drop, right?
That's it.
The one that let me see. The one that is coming into the game is, where is that? Oh, here
not
it is.
anymore.
That's gonna pull up Twitter. Is this one right here? So this is the Dead Drop one. This one is Doc's one, or no, is the Call of Duty one.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it's a straight rip, bro. Like you didn't change shit. Like you literally changed nothing. Like, come on.
They really didn't.
No, not a fucking thing. Like, I don't know, man. I like I
That's
don't.
funny.
Yeah.
I saw the wolf thing, and I
posting
got
a picture of the
pretty-
wolf right now.
pretty heated about that because that one is like,
An artist, like that's
yeah, it's scummy, man. And Ubisoft does the same thing. These Ubisoft, Activision, they don't give a shit, dude.
That's because they can. It's like what are you gonna do? You're gonna take me to court? A multi-million-dollar company?
Yeah.
You think?
Well, I mean, I think if I'm
Take me
Dr.
to copyright court, come on.
If I'm Dr. Disrespect, I am 100% looking at this like, well, great. This pays my
Well,
light bills for the next couple months.
Dr. Disrespect for sure. Like again, he's a millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. But what are you gonna do when an artist that just makes something comes up to you and does that? And what are you gonna do?
I would still bring it
Take
up to him and be
fucking
like,
court?
absolutely.
you're
I would
not.
be. Yes, hold on. Listen to me. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go and take you to court. I'm going to threaten to sue you. They're going to go, no, you're not. Here's $10,000. Shut up. And I'm going to go, thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. Again, they're either gonna pay you off and they're still gonna keep the fucking skin, or they're gonna take you to litigation for 5 years. You'll sit in fucking court for 5 years, and then
They'll pay you off. They're not going to go to
$10,000.
fucking litigation over a goddamn skin. They'll fucking pay you off. So anyway, Activision,
if they're gonna
fucking
do it, at least get paid for it. You
Like-
know.
Yeah.
like get
They're
your
gonna
shit
do
I
it
think
together,
what
man.
Activision's trying to do is be a freedom fighter for us all, because we all know this skin was going to be an NFT anyway, so they're just
That's
trying to make
true.
sure that it's
Yeah,
available
That's
to
true.
the public.
Very true. Yep.
Big brain take, yeah.
I don't know. I
they
played the
just
game. I'm
just
excited
wanted to get
about
the
it.
NFT before, they were like, we got to get that NFT right there.
I mean, I can talk about it. They showed it off. I can't stream it or whatever else. But I played a snapshot of Dead Drop, and it handles really well. It looks really well. It plays really well. I know
looks
you
so-
guys are leaning hard into the
It
whole
did
NFT
not
thing.
look like it handled very well from the gameplay showcase that they.
You played the same snapshot that everyone else played.
Yes, I did.
it-
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm assuming that your rig had maybe something to do with it.
Well, I'm sure my rig did have something to do with it. My rig couldn't play it at fucking Ultra. That's for damn sure. That thing fucking chugged. But
Praising it for like its audio design, for its look and everything. I'm like, they pulled literally audio design from like you
It
can
was-
look up YouTube.
It was
ASMR of,
base
like,
Unreal. Yeah.
terrain. You can pull
It
up
was
shots on YouTube.
it was base Unreal assets for gunshots, boot sounds,
Man.
rain sounds.
Also, their gun looks dumb.
the gun. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think
That
it's
AR looks
That's-
bad.
It's probably base Unreal assets or whatever
Probably.
they're working with.
I mean, I had fun with it. The game, I had fun with what I got to play, and it was really, I think it was really good.
It's called Dead Drop, but it's not even. It's like D Drop because there's no like. It's not Dead Drop. That's not a word. Like then, so there's should be two D's if it's Dead Drop. It's D Drop. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. It's
It's
irking me.
okay. There's still plenty of time in 2022 for Sin to eat more crow.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I'm just saying, all I've said was I played it, and it felt fucking good, and it sounded good, and I think that it looked
okay, yeah.
good. God damn. For fuck's sake.
I'll agree with you on that. It did look pretty. Like I mean, it looked like a base level Unreal game. Like it looks really nice.
I mean, that little bit plays and sounds and is more fun than all of the fun I've ever had in fucking Warzone. So Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
think it's
I
better.
yeah. Well, that's not yeah, that's a low bar to fucking walk.
I'm just
under, you know?
saying
Yeah.
that's the fucking that is the shooters that are out there. Like,
And that's nah. I mean, it's compared to like Escape from Tarkov. Like that's
I-
day and night.
I mean, I'm not comparing it to Escape from Tarkov. I'm just saying the game
I know
fucking
you're
played good.
comparing it to a very low bar.
I mean, that is hands down. Warzone is a more popular game than Tarkov.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
That's what I'm
Warzone's
comparing it
also
to.
fucking-
Just a more popular fucking shooter. So
I don't.
anyway, I mean, if you want to say like, oh, it handles better than Marauders, well, no shit. Marauders is bad. So anyway, all right. Quick hit. Well, we can talk. Do you guys want to talk about the AI driven art, like the Mid Journey stuff?
Nah,
No,
Yeah,
Not
we're
really.
too far in. Yeah.
it's really dope. By the way, you guys should everybody should
It
go
is
try
really
it out.
cool.
Go to Mid Journey. Look it up,
Good top
and
for
you get
a
like
rainy
20,
day.
25 free pictures. So, all right, quick hit news, guys, and get your quick question. Look, I cannot fucking speak tonight. Get your questions ready for the end of the show so that we can talk about what you guys want to talk about. So quick hits is Evil West. Is got a release date. But it got delayed. So. Yeah.
Everything got delayed.
On top of
Yep.
Hogwarts Legacy got delayed. On top of Nightingale got delayed. On top of Midnight Suns got delayed. On top of Arc Raiders got delayed. We want to anything else we want to throw out there got delayed?
I think you got it.
Season of delays.
Everything gets delayed. Yeah, we're not. Is there so?
Didn't that vampire one get delayed as well?
No, Redfall did not get delayed. Redfall is still.
Redfall. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, Redfall is still.
Dark Tide.
Got delayed. Yep.
So I don't. Is there aside from Redfall? Is there any game coming out the end of this year that's actually people are excited about?
God of War.
Is that still?
Yeah.
We have no delay yet. No delay
No
yet.
delay
huh?
on that yet.
Yeah, but I can't play that, so fuck that game.
I'm thinking that's going to get delayed. I still have a feeling it's going to
I
get
don't think so.
delayed. I don't know.
It's
don't think so. I
it's
doubt it.
pretty close to release. It's
I
a
was about
November
to say
release.
if they were gonna delay it, they would have delayed it by now.
How
for
long?
sure.
Yeah.
When did the original God of War come out on PlayStation? Is it on PS4?
God of War.
It was around
Uh,
Spider-Man time, right? Wasn't it around Spider-Man?
I think it was 2019.
That's a
2018.
fast. So we're going on 5 years. Okay, never mind. That's not too bad. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was like a 3-year turnaround time. I was like, that's a fucking fast turnaround time for God of Wars, man. Because usually they were like a minimum 5 years apart. So,
Saints Row. Saints Row is also Gotham Knights. Actually, I think Gotham Knights just
Who
went
the-
gold.
what cares about Gotham Knights?
I don't know.
Who the fuck cares about Saints Row?
These are the games that are still coming out in 2022. So if that says anything,
Is there a
it's-
list of them? What games do we have coming out? Because we got time now. What game? Let's see.
Like I
Games.
said, Saints Row, Gotham, Knights, God of War. I think the new Pokemon game. I don't know what the title of that one is.
Oh, Violet and Scarlet.
Violet,
There's a-
Scarlet, and it looks like I didn't even know there was a new. What's the Squid game called from Nintendo?
Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Splatoon 3, yeah.
Splatoon coming out too. Splatoon 3.
Yay.
This says Midnight Suns. I thought
it
Midnight
just got
Suns
delayed. Just got delayed.
Midnight Sun- yeah, they 100%
That
got
list
delayed.
probably isn't 100%
This might
updated.
be old, but I do know Saints Row is coming out at least and God of War, so some of
Yeah,
it
who
is.
gives a shit about Saints
Yes.
Row?
he's-
The,
I don't know, is anybody-
the last time that I saw anything about Saints Row, people were like, "Why the fuck did they make another game?" Like,
I'm just saying, nobody should be surprised by this. The fact
Yeah.
that with all these like game shows, like E3, Game Awards, all these, and they were touting all these games come out within 2022. I was like, sure, I was excited, but I'm like, this ain't never gonna happen.
I think the couple that really kind of torqued my shorts is that Arc Raiders. I was actually really looking forward to
and
that
Nightingale,
one.
yeah.
Nightingale for sure. Yeah.
Those
I wish
but-
Nightingale had not. Like, I don't think the decision to move it to Unreal Engine 5 is.
Yeah,
I
I don't know why
smart
they
decision.
waited this long. I think
It's
you said
long,
that,
yeah.
Scruffy. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, why-
honestly, like moving from like Unreal 4, if that's what they are, is on Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. shouldn't take that long, but
No, I've heard
you never know what kind of issues will
actually.
pop up with it.
Sure. I mean, with anything, but I've heard from other developers who have done, the move is that the move should be from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. It should be pretty seamless. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're delaying it, due to that, like I don't think that's the reason they're delaying it. If that's
That's
the
just a
case,
cop out.
it's just a cop out, So I don't know.
Which is kind of sad because I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that they can get that
So
in first
it
part.
really is just going to be Elden Ring versus God of War for Game of the Year this year.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cult of the Lamb is definitely going to win Best Indie Game though.
You
Have
think
you
so?
seen anything
I don't know.
about it? 'Cause,
I don't
like,
know, man. I think Core Keeper and Stray. I think Stray's got a fucking chance to take it.
Oh yeah.
Stray's going to be up there too, but
I don't know.
I think Cult of the Lamb has a shoe in.
Yeah.
I don't
definitely
think Cult of the Lamb has enough. Game of the Year for indie games, they love storytelling games, and though Cult of the Lamb has got is a good game. I don't think it beats out Stray. I think Stray is gonna take it.
Stray either, yeah. I don't know. I think the indie games have a far better lineup than your AAA games this year, though, for sure.
They've been having the far better lineup for AAA games forever. Like
for a while.
That's very true. Yeah, but.
I mean, the world we're in right now is we're playing. I mean, aside from Bill, because he gets Elden Ring, because he gets what he wants. He gets his game, but we don't get our games. This is fucking
bullshit. My game was good.
Yeah. So right now, just so everybody understands, what we're playing in the world of 2022 is we are playing. We went back to Fortnite, so we played that game. We went back. We played. There was Call of Duty Black Ops. I booted that back up. We played League. What else did we play? Like literally,
I'm playing Guild Wars 2 again.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
Seven Days to Die that came out 6 years ago.
I'm looking at the games right now on Steam, and it's like Rust. It's Grand Theft Auto 5. It's Dead by Daylight. Like, can we just get some? Please, can we get something new? Please.
I mean, it's been years, and we've been asking the same thing. It's.
Nope, we're gonna get fucking remakes of Modern Warfare 2, which is not even a remake or a remaster. Yeah. It's just a fucking
remakes of Saints Row, remakes of The Last of Us, Skyrim again. Probably. I'm
low key kind of hyped about Modern Warfare 2 though.
Why? It's not Modern Warfare 2 of what we remember, bro. They're not redoing that. It's not a remaster.
I worry.
It's a remake.
And it's just gonna be another Warzone inevitably too.
Like they're not.
I mean. I'm still kind of giddy about it. I know it's heavy nostalgia,
but I know. Right, same for me. But that's what I wish, and it's not gonna.
I mean, you have to remember. I started a esports organization and LAN center based around Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and Halo, competitive scene. I remember the game battles days. I remember the MLG scenes. I remember the quick scoping on favela and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, the interception,
one man army noob tubing.
Yeah, like I remember all of it, but that's not. And I was excited for it too until I did the research to look at what they're doing, and they're not. Like it's a campaign remake. They're not bringing back the old maps. They're not bringing back they're not remastering it. This is just our interpretation of what this would be now. So like it's very similar to what they did with with Modern Warfare, and yeah, Trevor's right. They're just gonna cram Warzone down everyone's throat, and that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
I'm sorry,
gross.
but like I feel the same.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. So. Anyway. Well, that's it, guys. Episode number 64 is in the bag. Hope you guys enjoyed it, chat. I hope you guys had fun. We had fun. We love you guys all for being here, and as always, you can come join us live right here on our stations on Twitch or over at YouTube with Bill. And you can chat with us, and you can go in here and give us your feedback. Tell us that you love us. Tell us you hate us. 9 times out of 10, me and Enigma will at least argue with one of you in chat. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm kind of sad because we don't have anybody argue in here. Well, we always argue with each other. Fuck, we hate each other. What does it matter? So
it's true.
That's what you get here.
Yeah. But you can come here, hang out, anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, !podcast on all the channels. Go check us out across the Spotify's, guys. Please, what is it like? What is it on Spotify? Is it like
follow?
I think Thanks, follow. Yeah.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Follow
the
us on
podcast.
follow us on the
Stream it,
podcast.
You know, get those streams up.
Subscribe and hit
Oh.
that bell button.
I thought you
Yeah.
meant stream it as in like use it as your own content. Don't do that.
Don't do that,
Yeah,
no.
don't
do
reuse this
that,
for your own
please.
content. Unless you want to cut it up into shorts and then send it to us so we can put it up on TikTok or something like that. That's
That'd be
cool.
great.
We'll do
Yeah.
that. We'll credit you.
Like
We'll
40
credit you
minutes.
for we'll credit you as an editor. So, but
No, we won't.
anyway, yes, we will. We absolutely will. Oh my god, Enigma won't, but we will. So. Anyway,
Yeah.
Enigma's too busy suing everybody for his likeness. Fuck, man. What was the
am,
character?
man.
You wanted to sue Hi-Rez because they took your character. Now you're
Well,
suing Activision. Now
money.
you're suing
Come on.
fucking Midnight Society. Jesus Christ. Anybody comes with a little digital smiley face, you're fucking over here thinking that they stole your shit. So
They did. I'm not
Christ,
thinking
man.
it. They did. It's
You
100%, bro.
you didn't patent it. Anyway, guys, it's done. We're done. Show's over. You guys have a wonderful night. We will catch you guys next
Bye, guys.
2 weeks. See ya. We are out.
Later.
Installation.